The Jews are one of the wealthiest people in the world. They're one of the people who own the banks, who own record labels. Like, I was really shocked when I found out, right? So yes, and I also found out that they're one of the best financial educators. So I'm like, why not bring this on the show? Why not talk about how they spend, how they save, and maybe we could adopt some of the things that we feel are very important to our own lives. And yeah, let's get right into it. So one of the tips on saving, according to Jewish style, is to set a goal. And everybody says set a goal, set a goal. Sometimes we just like, okay, what goal? It could be as little as, what exactly do you need money for in the long term? Okay, I want to change my phone. That's something. I want to probably furnish my apartment. That's one. I'm saving for an online course. It could be very little depending on what you need, depending on the progress you're trying to look out for, right? So you need to set it. Like, set that thing. Know that you don't necessarily have to write all these things, but know them in your mind. Oh, I need to save money to get a phone. I need to save money to buy equipment for my business. I need to save money to do this, to learn this, to do that. Having that goal is really important, because sometimes you don't necessarily even have to have one. It could be actually saving a particular amount of money just for these unexpected expenses. It could be as little as that. So just have that. And also you need to set a budget, right? I like to think that at the end of the month, when my money is coming in, I know that, okay, this is a particular amount of money I'm using for this and I'm using for that. If you want to really know how much you spend monthly, there's something I did for myself and I'm going to let you know. This is what I did. I just tried for a week, right? I monitored what I was actually spending on. So if I go out at the end of every day, I sit down at home and I write, oh, I spent 500 naira on transport today. I spent 700 naira on this today. So everything, I was noting it down at the end of each day. So at the end, I actually did for a month. So at the end of the month, I sat down, I collated everything, and I'm like, oh wow, I spent this particular amount of food. This is very ridiculous. I need to reduce it, right? So you don't necessarily even have to do for a month. You could do for 2 weeks. I think 2 weeks is enough to know your daily routine. And at the end of the 2 weeks, you could probably just multiply it by 2 to just get an estimated monthly fee, monthly expenses rather. Then at the end, you can decide, oh, I think my food is really taking so much, or my luxury items are really taking so much. You can reduce it, right? That's also one thing. One other thing is you can adopt an automatic savings. Okay, I know PiggyVest and Cowrywise actually have this feature, so you could just go onto the app and say, okay, at the end on a particular payday, you know your payday maybe 28th, 29th of every month, I want you to be deducting this particular amount of money at this particular time. So that way you can actually be up to date. You can know, even though you're not as disciplined as you would want to be, that can actually help you out. And one major thing I would like to say, like, this is very important when it comes to saving, is to live below your means. Right? I know most of us see things online. We're like, I want to show my friends how I can look. I want to look pretty. I want to do this. I want to do that. But okay, girl, boy, do you need it? No, you don't. Do you get? So yes, I know if you want to just meet up to a particular class of people, you want to go. When you go out, you want to spend to show them, I got it. But do you really get it? No. At the end of the month, when you get home, you're like, oh my God, I have like just 30K to spend for the month. I have to start managing. So you need to live below your means, know the lifestyle, know what you're capable of, and live below your means. And another thing is to be disciplined. Like, that's the major word. If you know how to live below your means, it means you're really disciplined, because we won't be talking about this if you're really not disciplined. So you need to know that you're going to see things online. Things are going to be in your faces. You're going to see, oh, there's this nice dress coming up. Oh, this celebrity wore this dress. I want to buy this, but okay, can you afford it? Right? You need to ask yourself, can I get 3 of this thing? If you can't get 3 of it, you don't need it. Do you get? Can I get times 3? You don't need it, girl. So you need to be disciplined. That I'm still trying to be disciplined. You get? Because sometimes when you come online and you see these things, you're really like, oh God, I wish I can get this. Yes, just keep wishing. Wishes can come to reality in the future, but now you don't really have that much money. One last thing I would also like to mention is be patient, right? You have a goal, you have something you want to get, you have a course you want to register for, you want to expand, you want to create a side hustle. Be patient. This goals takes particular time, but one thing I want you to know, that is be true to yourself. Know that, okay, you're really working towards this and you're not fooling yourself, because you're the only one who can be true to yourself. You know yourself better than anybody. So be true, be patient, and trust me, you would really get this thing right. So some of the tips to spending wisely, because one of the Jewish principles is also spend, knowing that there should be a limit to your spending in order to avoid overspending, because that's one of the things most of us really do. We just spend so much, and at the end of the month we're like, okay, I think I don't really have any saving. I've really taken everything out. So we need to know how to spend. Spending wisely is the key. So one major thing is be mindful of it, right? Ask yourself, do I really need this thing? Can I afford this thing? If you cannot afford 3 of it, you don't need it. Do you get? So be mindful. You need to calm down and be mindful of it. One other thing is to negotiate. And you know how to price down, or you need to price down. I remember when I used to go to the market when I was much younger with my mom, and she gets to the market and she has to say like, oh, I want to buy this thing, and she says, oh, this thing is 5,000 naira, and my mom says, cook 2,000 and I'm like, mommy, calm down. Funny enough, the woman say, yeah, more, like bring it. And I'm like, so just know that you have to negotiate to get the best deal, because these people would obviously want to make a profit, but most people want to make ridiculous profit. That's why they really like inflate the prices, knowing that you should negotiate. I don't think you can ever go to the market and not even negotiate nowadays. But there's some things you see and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, this could be, but try and negotiate if you can. Please do. Okay, one other thing is try to get the best deal. Okay, you don't just go to a store, you don't just find a store online and you just get the same thing you need. No, there are online platforms where you could compare different buyers and compare different sellers rather. Okay, this person sells it for 10,000 naira, this person sells it for 9,000 naira, this person sells it for 7,000 naira. Find the best deal. That's the main thing. Spend wisely. Do not spend unconsciously, because you have to be aware of your spending, right? One other thing also is you can buy used items. You don't necessarily have to buy a new item. If you can get the same quality in a used item, please do. You could get used appliances. They're really fine, right? You could also get thrift wares. You don't necessarily have to buy a very new cloth, because I know, yes, the price differ. So if you can really afford that, that's totally fine. But if you cannot, please there's some high grade thrift wares you could get. There's some high grade used items, used equipment, used books. You don't necessarily have to get a new, because I think you're actually going to get the same quality. But the thing is, yes, prioritize quality as well, because you would not want to get a used item and in the next few months you're like going to get another one because that one is damaged, right? I would also suggest that you should be creative with your spending. You could find creative ways to spend your money online. You could, instead of going to a luxurious restaurant, you could probably go on a picnic, just go to the garden with your friends, or you could probably just hang out in a place that actually like charges lower money. You don't necessarily have to go so big. So just calm down. You will get there soon. It's no rush. You will get there. Just calm down. Just know that these things take time. You need to know how to spend wisely. And even the place that you feel like, oh, this place is not your class, in the next few months or next few years, it could be in your class. It could be above you. Do you get? So you need to know that distance take time, and gradually you will get to that place. Do you get? So now we're going to paint a scenario, right? I know most of us earn different particular amounts of money monthly, and some of us also have a side hustles where we get profits from. That's totally great. Knowing that this particular money comes in and knowing how to save it or knowing how to spend it is really important, right? We're going to be using the average Nigerian salary. I made some research on the average and I found that it was 137,000 naira according to Jobberman. But I'm like, okay, this money is quite outrageous, right? Because I know a lot of people that still earn like 60, 70, but yes, I know that's the average. But I know this also differs. This depends on the location, it depends on the profession, and depends on the position as well. So I'm going to be using like 100K, right? Okay, let's say you have 100K. How would I manage it? Like, how should you manage it using the Jewish style? Okay, first you need to ask yourself, like I mentioned earlier, do I have a goal? What do I want to achieve? Because that would actually determine how much you should save. So let's say, okay, you want to probably get a phone and you're looking towards getting a phone of like, let's say 300K. Yeah, worth 300K. And let's say you're earning 100K, yeah? And in the next, you probably want to you have a year, okay, you feel like in the next 1 year, you should actually get this phone. So that's like 12 months. Let's just say 10 months, 10, 11 months, right? So that means you could actually save 30. So if you save 30K monthly, in the next 10 months, you've gotten your phone. That's totally fine. But if you probably don't have so much goal, you don't probably have something so significant you have to get, you could actually reduce it to 20. But given this particular goal, let's just make it 30, right? So you have 30. So 30% of that you're saving. So like I said earlier, if you are not really disciplined, you can do the automatic saving. So at the end of your payday, when your payday comes, it just automatically deducts it. That's totally fine. You need to really do that. So 30%, that's 30K gone. I like to say, okay, your necessities should actually be like 50% because you need to work, you need to eat, you need to go about your daily life, you need to spend on this, you need to spend on utilities, get water, get this. So 50% is totally fine. So that's 50% of that, that's 50K you're spending monthly. So this is what I would love you to do because this is what I do normally. So 50K in a month, if you put that into an account, you can actually lose track of it. In the next, maybe in like 15 days, you find yourself like really like you've gone way below it and you're like, oh my God, I really have to manage. Do you get? So this is what you do. You can divide that 50K, what you have, for that month by 4. This is what I do. And I put the money in an account that I really don't have so much access to. So every week I just send it to the account I have access to. And I know that, okay, this is what I'm spending for this week. So breaking it down from monthly to weekly is actually very important, and it makes it, okay, this money is for Monday to Sunday. So if I'm going out, this is what I know I have to spend. So if I'm coming back, this is what I have to spend regardless, right? So you make sure you can eat in if possible. You don't necessarily have to buy things outside. Please eat in if you can. So yes, so dividing these things into weekly expenses is actually very important. So 50K divided by 4, that'll be about, let's say 12,000. Get 12,500 naira. So at the end of every week, once it's Sunday, if you even have money left, that's totally fine. You've been really great. You could still add that 12,500 to it, or you can just like deduct the money you have by that 12,000 and maybe send the other one to still be 12,500. That's fine. So knowing these things, I think if you do that way, you know that, okay, at the end of every week, just streamlining it to a week is totally fine. So 50K gone for necessities, 30K gone for savings, and you can say 10% for luxury. You want to buy this, you want to buy that. 10% is fine. I think that's good. And if you're somebody who believes in charity, you could also give the 10%. Otherwise, you can just like add the 20% and say luxury. So I want to treat myself. I want to live a baby girl lifestyle. Do you get? So 20%, 20K is fine for me for that one, because this is what I'm earning and I have to save. I got to get a new phone in the next 10 months. So knowing these things and knowing how to break these things down is very important. And also know that these things should be tailored to your own need. This is I just pointed a scenario. You can have something you want to do. It can even be more expensive than what I currently stated. So knowing these things is very important. You could maybe 40%, but just know that you have to eat. You don't have to starve yourself. You have to be healthy. You have to eat healthy. You have to be conscious about your well-being and stuff like that. So conclusively, you have to save for the unexpected. Be frugal. You need to spend in a frugal way. You know that, okay, if you really don't need something, you don't necessarily have to get it. Just give yourself time to relax and know that, okay, just know that it's a growth. You have a process you have to go. I'm sure the things you got in like 5 years, not the same thing you're getting now, you've upgraded. So in the next 1 year, you're obviously going to upgrade because you would also want to increase your income as time goes on, right? And if you feel like you need to increase your income, oh, this money is not enough to be able to save to meet my financial goal, you could start a side also. I mentioned that in the last episode. Do that with little to no money. You can get more income coming in at the end of every month. So try that. I wish you guys the best in your saving. Please do let me know if you try any of this, because I really want to know how this has helped you, how you've implemented this into your personal life, because personal finance, having control of your personal finance is key. We have to really learn how to do that. Financial literacy is key. Did you know that if you like a YouTube video, it shares the video faster and to a larger audience? I guess you didn't know. Did you also know that if you subscribe to a YouTube channel, you get more content from that channel regularly? So yes, we need more people to know about financial discipline. We need more people to know about financial literacy. So do not forget to like this video so we can get a lot of people financially disciplined. Do you get? And financially educated. So like this video and subscribe so you can get more content like this if you want to save, if you also want to have a work-life balance as well as health and wellness. Do not forget to subscribe, and yeah, you can turn on the notification to get more information and when we drop our videos every week. Thank you so much. See you guys.